Hey, what's good? I'm doing an interesting discussion for you. So, I wanted to talk about the potential values of the PSA horse cards that I've been doing. Um, so this is a not factory cut, which PSA hadn't, obviously didn't pick up on that. And they was able to miscut, but so I had picked this up, the card itself, not the slab, but the card itself, for $50 roughly. Might have been roughly about a year ago or something like that. And I wanted to get it gray just because I wanted it in the slab. And, but the potential value that it could have, maybe like roughly about $100 roughly in the slab. So that'd be pretty cool actually. If I decide to, depart with it one day, which I would never probably do, but if I decide to, that could potentially be the the amount that I get. Um, and then I wanted to also talk about the previous promos as the another potential like expensive part of the horse cards. So if one of these previous promos gets a 10, like a gem mint 10 basically, there's no telling what the value could be on that. Because this is a roughly a $10 card, as a 9, which could be, $100, $150. There's no telling me this is the only 9 that's on the market right now, or available right now. And same thing with this is an 8, and there's only one 8 in the world right now. So there's no telling what this could go for right now if I were to sell it. So I could potentially get like $100, $150. There's no telling, but I don't really plan on selling them. But it is an interesting observation for what these cards could potentially go for. And 9 or 10. A 10 I could probably maybe see like $200, maybe $250 for a PSA 10 of the Crest of Summer. So that's a possibility. I don't know who would pay that much, other than potentially me, but that's a possibility that is out there for a PSA 10. And just like with these are all 9s, but I think I paid like 40 or 50 for the showcase foil, and about 30 or 40 for the non-foil, and then about 30 for this, I think 30 or 40. And so that just kind of give you guys an estimate, or an estimate of what the horse cards go for in a 9 roughly, at least what I paid for them. So again, there's no telling what a value could be if I got like a 10 on one of these, or potentially this. Is like there's only one like graded version of this. It's like a foreign company from, I think the listing was like from Australia, and it was like an 8.5 basically. And so there's no telling what 10 could go for. And I think the listing from like eBay that I had seen was like about $40-$50 for a 8.5. Maybe it was 60 or 70, something like that. So, but yeah, so it's hard to say what a pure PSA 10 would go for one of these previous promos, or the first place foil, or even for the Crush of Summer. So the whole point of this video is to tell you is that even though these cards are cheap, at least the Guardian Summer is cheap, and the previous one is like $1. But if you get a PSA 10 of it, it could be potentially worth more than what the card's worth. Like I said, it could be like $150, $200 for a PSA 10. Again, there's none on the market for PSA because they haven't graded any PSA 10s of Guardian Summer. So that's another thing too, that once more get graded, then the value will probably go down a little bit. But until that happens, then you don't know what the value could be. So, but yeah, just an interesting topic for a discussion video for this, at least especially for me, because like I said, I don't really plan on submitting too many graded horse cards, but I do like having a couple in the collection that I do really like. For example, I do really like Crush of Summer, and I have a couple extra copies that I use for different decks and things like that, for Commander. And then for the Guardian Summer, I have non-foils that I use for standard, where I get around to doing that, or Marn, or Commander. So again, it's like I have other copies of these cards that I use, so it's not really that big of a deal to me if I submit the foils and get them graded. So but yeah, so that's, I think, wraps up this video. I think I don't think there was anything else I wanted to discuss in this video. Oh, actually there is. So with this, so if this got a 10, I think it would probably be worth more than what I paid for it at a 9. Just because it is the showcase foil. It's from the exclusive, like, Lord of the Rings, like, Christmas holiday box thing that's only available as a collector box. And so I think a 10 of this would be pretty expensive. But this would be the only other card that I could see, if it was a 10, it would be like probably $300 or $400 for a 10. Just because of how expensive the box is and how hard that those packs are to come across. So that would be the only other thing that I could see, potentially being more expensive than, the previous promo of Crush of Summer or something like that. So, but yeah, now I think that's basically it for the video. So thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you. Alright, I guess.